It's less than 100 days to the World Cup now. We still don't know for certain who is England's #1 goalkeeper for the World Cup. How big a problem do you think that could be?
I think it's a very big problem for Fabio Capello for obvious reasons. I mean, the goalkeeping position is one of the most important, probably just behind the main strikers. Because I've always said scoring goals is the most important, the hardest thing to do, but I think being in goal is a very close second. So I think the problem is we haven't got anybody we just can say at this moment in time, he's the #1 without a shadow of doubt, and we're just looking for the #2 and #3 as backups, really. I think it's up for grabs, the position, and it's going to vary on different circumstances that might happen between now and the World Cup. David James is obviously the most experienced. He's lost the position. He probably should be in that position now, as people saying he's definitely going to start the first match. But because of losing his England spot and injury, and Portsmouth having a really difficult season, it's not going to be easy for him to get his form and confidence back. All those factors put a doubt with him. Paul Robinson, again, doesn't seem to figure with Fabio Capello, although he's been doing okay for Blackburn and has got experience with England, which is vital. Robert Green is having a difficult season at West Ham, but has done okay with England. And I think the big dark horse who's coming up on the rails very fast is Joe Hart. Bit of a surprise to me, to be fair, but it just shows you when you get a change of club and a manager that really believes in you, and maybe not such a high-profile club that he was at before at Man City, where he maybe made a couple of mistakes early on, but managed to sort of stay in the team. And he's got momentum now, and he's young, and he's saying the right things. He's saying that he wants the #1 position, and he sounds as though he's confident enough to get it. And that's good. I mean, I like to see that sort of thing. So he probably deserves a game just to see what he can do. I think it's a big ask, though, from a manager shortly before the World Cup to sort of say he could start my first match against USA, but he may come up and get himself into the 3, and then you have a chance in the World Cup. Anything can happen.
Let's put you on the spot. If you were in charge, who would you make England's #1?
I haven't got a clue, and that's the problem. Maybe the fact that David James and Paul Robinson have been there, had the chance, done okay on but not sustained it. Maybe Capello might go for somebody different, and maybe Robert Green is just a nose in front at the moment, I would say.
Isn't this a bit late in the day? Shouldn't Fabio know who his #1 goalkeeper is less than 100 days before a World Cup?
Very much so. And maybe he does. Maybe in the back of his mind he's thinking, look, I know David James is my #1, and if he's fit and in form, I'm going to play him. Maybe he feels that way. But looking from the outside, as I am, and being obviously England's goalkeeper for 20 years, I don't think anybody's actually just fulfilling him with confidence at the moment that he can say he's definitely my #1.
How important is a goalkeeper in a team at a World Cup? Can you win a World Cup without a world-class goalkeeper?
I don't believe you can win a World Cup without a world-class goalkeeper, or a goalkeeper who's really on form. I mean, we've seen it with strikers, come into a World Cup unheard of, suddenly they become the star of the tournament because they hit a rich vein of form. They maybe score early on and get a run of confidence going, and things go for them. And the same with goalkeepers. You may get, for example, David James could go out and probably any of our goalkeepers go out and have a really good 6 games, is it, to win, 7 games to win the World Cup, and play a massive part. Just hit a run of form. But the form book says that the way we have been going, that in 1 or 2 of those games, they're going to make a mistake that could cost a goal.